I am super excited for you to take a look at how I built this thing. Come on in, take a look, check it out. Each and every table I make takes an absolute ton of work, and this one was no different. We start by debarking the slabs, prepping them for the pour table. But the problem with this table happened when a couple of gnats, actually 6, decided to land in the clear epoxy. So I'll show you how I take care of that after I finish cutting up these slabs, getting them ready for the pour table. I cut them to length here, square them up. I end up doing this after I lay them out. I mark them, put a straight edge on them, and I mark them really nice and cleanly. So now I'm cutting the side of the table. Usually leave some live edge on the edge of the table so I can have a little bit of epoxy included in that area. Speaking of epoxy, here we go to pour it. I'm using Epoxy here. It's a great product, works really well. I do wear a respirator when I do this just in case there's any problems whatsoever, especially when I degas them here in the vacuum chambers, sucking out the oxygen. Now I'm pulling the epoxy out. This is a crystal clear epoxy, so I have to make sure that all of the oxygen is out prior to pouring the table. I do that because I don't want any bubbles whatsoever in the epoxy. Even as the epoxy settles and is able to let the oxygen out, I still get nervous, so I definitely degas it. Now here's me lifting this beast onto the TOT router sled. I pretend like I'm strong there, but this TOT router sled is absolutely awesome. I just run it back and forth on the table a couple thousand times, it seems like it, but it is worth it. After I get it off the sled, I start ripping it down to the perfect size for the customer here. Got some extra measurements just to make sure it's correct. I use the Festool track saw here. Got the extenders, the linear connectors between 2 tracks. So I didn't have to buy the massive one that they sell. That's like $500. Anyways, again, using the Festool Rotex. Use the Festool ETSs here. We start with the 5, then move to the 3 to get a nice finer finish. Then I wet it down and I wet sand. And you're going to see these pesky little gnats. There they are. So what did I do? I drilled out the epoxy and then I taped it and then put some caulk. And I'm going to go ahead and fill it a second time. And I was a little skeptical on how this turned out, but it is almost 100% unable to be seen. This is definitely a strategy that I'm going to use in the past. Then I went back to wet sanding. Now I'm polishing it here, and I am so excited that those gnats went away, and it was super tough to see them. Here is my first look at it after I was done polishing, and I was really excited. And you finally see the finished product, but you don't see any of the repairs where those gnats were. Really excited about it, really excited about the final product here. As you're admiring the final table here, make sure you take a second to subscribe and enable notifications to get more videos just like this, and to see how I solve some of the bigger problems. And as always, thanks for watching.